Before time, there was nothing. And before there was nothing, there were monsters. Existence before the concept of time was nothing more than a void of godlike entities crawling over each other to survive. The smallest of these entities would eventually crawl out of the depths and end up in our dimension, naming itself Orgalorg. Welcome back to another video. I'm here with my main man Gunter. And today we are here to bring you the full story of Orgalorg from Adventure Time. If you enjoyed this video, be sure to hit that like button, and if you're feeling generous, hit that sub button as well. Gunter! Thousands of years before the events of the main series, Orgalorg ruled the solar system with an iron fist, destroying civilizations and becoming known as the Breaker of Worlds. Orgalorg's desire for power would overwhelm it with greed, as it believed itself to be powerful enough to absorb a Catalyst Comet, a powerful agent of change only arriving once every 1,000 years. But overconfidence would get the best of the Primordial Entity, as it would be cast down and banished to Earth by Grob Gob Globgrod in an embarrassing defeat, by order of the King of Mars. But the defeat would only become more bitter, as the Earth's gravity condensed Orgalorg's body so intensely that it would take on the appearance of a cuddly penguin, and lose the memory of the terror it once was. Orgalorg would walk the Earth for centuries in its new form, eventually participating in the development of different societies across time. Not even the horrors of the Mushroom War could stop the entity from walking the mutilated planet, and after nearly a millennia, would end up in the company of Simon Petrikov, aka the Ice King, now overtaken by the insanity of the Ice Crown. In the Crown's confusion, Ice King would begin to call Orgalorg Gunter, a name derived from the origins of the powerful artifact, a name that would stick all the way up to the present day. And for all poor old Ice King knew, Gunter was simply his little buddy that kept him company for an unusual amount of time for a penguin. Throughout the series, we see the seeds of Orgalorg sprouting in Gunter once again, as a Catalyst Comet approaches over the next few years. Even the ruler of the Nightosphere, Hunson Abadir, could see what truly lied behind those adorable eyes.
So you are by far the most evil thing I've encountered.
The next hint we get at the entity's true identity comes in the episode The Chamber of Frozen Blades, as Gunter appears sick, but in reality was actually Prager's, with a floating pink cosmic cat. This plot point is hardly ever acknowledged by anyone, but it was in our faces all along. That thing is a cosmic deity. Later in the episode Reign of Gunter, we see the capabilities of Orgalorg despite its small form, as it uses a demonic wishing eye to conquer Oo. But without its memories, Gunter's motives were a little skewed.
I guess all they care about is bottles.
This episode is played off as a joke, but what we would see later down the line would recontextualize this plot thread into a much closer call than initially believed. While the Ice King is asleep, Gunter invites all his penguin buddies over for a party. It's a pretty wild time, with karaoke, drinks, and walrus races. The last one proved to be a bit of a mistake, as LSP falls into the pit and is surrounded. Gunter jumps to the rescue and saves LSP, but takes a gnarly hit in the process. Waking up, the partygoers can only stare in shock as Gunter's brain begins sticking out of his injury. Gunter begins to act strange, seemingly receiving some sort of signal from the cosmos, as his partygoers run out in fear. We see it create otherworldly shapes out of wood before using them to send a signal out to the cosmos, warning of its return. Gunter quickly gets overwhelmed as the dueling personalities within itself become too much to bear, and breaks the signal. Now appearing dormant, Ice King wakes up to see the brain sticking out of Gunter's head, and immediately performs medical procedures.
Boop, sleep, blip, bop.
Taking a look in the mirror, Gunter begins to see what it truly is, and its memories begin flooding back. The Candy Kingdom is going through a time of change, as Princess Bubblegum has lost an election to the King of Oo, a grifter who manipulated the candy people into voting for him. He's an exceptionally terrible leader, as he doesn't even show concern regarding the giant Catalyst Comet visibly heading towards Earth and turning everything purple. As mentioned previously, a Catalyst Comet is a bringer of change, crashing every 1,000 years on Earth and shaking up the status quo. The capabilities of a Catalyst Comet can vary from restoring magic onto the planet to ripping a chunk out of one as well. Now one is approaching once again, and our old pal Orgalorg wants to finish what it had started thousands of years ago, by manipulating the manipulator himself, using a disguise to get close to PB's rocket ship within the castle. Finn and Jake confront what they think is Gunter and discover the true identity of the Primordial, as its big green brain is now protruding even further out of its skull. But it's too late. Orgalorg activates the rocket and takes off to intercept the comet. But Finn and Jake are the protectors of Oo, and nobody swallows a Catalyst Comet without their consent. Busting into the rocket, Finn and Jake prepare for the cosmos and suit up. Orgalorg's full memory returns as it approaches the comet, and once again, takes on its true form.
Like a mighty chrysalis pushing out of a damp cocoon, I emerge.
Orgalorg's confidence is at a full-time high as the King of Mars and Glob had recently bit the dust, leaving space unprotected. With the rocket ship ready to fly and a Catalyst Comet approaching, destiny was on its side. Orgalorg begins approaching the comet, sending Finn and Jake adrift into open space. Luckily, Finn's human dad Martin had been soaring the cosmos within a space bug and saves him from a cold, empty grave. Orgalorg begins consuming the comet as its essence fills it with power. But Finn has a hero's heart and bullheadedly jumps straight into Orgalorg's mouth? Under attack from within, Finn uses the power of the cursed grass blade and rips that no-good Orgalorg a new one, freeing the Catalyst Comet. Breaking apart, the comet reveals its true form, a sentient creature beyond space and time, existing as a part of all things, always. Unlocking his mental vault, Finn recollects his existence as a comet in a past life, and is able to communicate with the cosmic entity. It offers Finn a new state of consciousness, much like itself existing beyond reality. But Finn has matured a lot in the last few years and declines the offer, electing to see his life out the way it was intended. Finn's dad, on the other hand, takes the offer up in a heartbeat.
Prepare to discorporate.
Goodbye, son!
And before the panic of being left in space sets in, Finn is rescued by Jake and Banana Man, orbiting Earth in Banana Man's rocket ship. With Oo saved, the crew head back down to Earth. But in a last-ditch effort to survive, Orgalorg latches onto the ship and plummets back to Earth, becoming the cuddly, unaware Gunter once again. Finn and Jake would keep an eye on Gunter over the next few years until the end of the Great Gum War. The Ice Crown's magic is reset to its primary wishing form after being digested by the deity of chaos, Gulb. Ending up in Gunter's hands, Jake panics as he believes Orgalorg is about to emerge once again. But Gunter's memories of its past are long gone, and it wishes to become the Ice King instead, bound to live the rest of time in a state of confusion and insanity. So that is the full story of Orgalorg from Adventure Time. If you want to see more Adventure Time videos like this in the future, let me know in the comments down below, and hit that like button if you enjoyed. Thanks for watching.
Quack, quack.